Know that vines on trees can be a problem, but they can, especially if the vines are up in the foliage of the tree. I used to say that's the only real problem, but I've changed my mind about that. Vines, especially English ivy, on the trunks of the trees can cause problems too, some very serious ones. We'll remove the English ivy today, show you how that works, and you'll be able to see why it can cause some very serious problems. The first step of removing the ivy is to simply start pulling it away from the tree by hand. This is a good example. The ivy has kept the moisture on the tree in this area so long that it's built up debris. Rot and discoloration has already started. This long term can cause rot going further back into the tree in a very dangerous situation. Another problem is with the English ivy or whatever ivy on the trunk of the tree, you can get a buildup of organic matter that rises up onto the bark of the tree. As you can see the discoloration here. That long term can cause girdling and rotting into the base of the tree, hurting your very valuable trees. The problems that relate to soil being too high on the root flare of trees can be solved with a tool called the air spade. It's starting to be used more and more, and it's a tool that can save your valuable trees. The company that's been the leader in this root flare exposure and also removing problems from tree trunks is the Lambert Landscape Company, or just Lambert's, and Tyson Woods specifically.
Remember when you were young and you drew trees, you had that flare at the base. You want to see that dramatic flare, and the more flare you see, the better off long term that tree is going to be.
Another problem we discovered here is girdling roots. Here's a pretty bad one, cutting into the flare of the tree. Another one here, this is a future problem. This is a current cutting in. These should be removed. This is a problem we would not have known about without exposing the flare by taking away the ivy and the related soil that built up. Here's another problem we discovered. This mushroom-looking thing that's actually a tree ear. It's the fruiting body of the fungus of decay that's working on the tree. It can be a big problem on down the road if we hadn't discovered it. One of my most common questions is, what's a good fast-growing tree? Well, as you know, I don't recommend a lot of them, but this is one I do. It's a fast-growing oak. It's Shumard red oak. Beautiful fall color, extremely fast-growing. For example, this one's barely 50 years old and already 60 feet tall. And they grow from these very large acorns. Select trees properly, plant them properly, and then do things like removing ivy from the trunk, and your trees will be happy and your property values will go up.